welcome to another edition of Culture Kids Storytime. So let me ask you a question. When your parents got you up to go to school this morning, did you whine and complain and say, "Ugh, I don't want to get out of bed this morning. I'm too tired. I don't want to go. Do I have to?" Was that your reaction? If it was, do you happen to know that there are a lot of children around the world who would love the opportunity to go to school and get an education? Today's story is entitled Beatrice's Goat, and it's all about a little girl who dreamed of going to school so that she could be just like the rest of the other school kids. So let's check this out and figure out how this little goat allowed Beatrice to go to school and learn a lot of responsibility in the process. If you were to visit the small African village of Kisenga, in the rolling hills of western Uganda, and if you were to take a left at the crossroads and follow a narrow dirt path between two small banana groves, you would come to the home of a girl named Beatrice. Beatrice lives here with her mother and 5 younger brothers and sisters in a sturdy mud house with a fine steel roof. The house is new. So is the shiny blue wooden furniture inside. In fact, many things are new to Beatrice and her family lately. And it's all because of a goat named Mugisa. Beatrice loves everything about Mugisa. The feel of her coarse brown and white coat, the way her chin hairs curl just so, and how Mugisa gently teases her by butting her knobby horns against Beatrice's hand, tup-tup, like a drumbeat waiting for a song. But there is one reason why Beatrice loves Mugisa most of all. In the time before Mugisa, Beatrice spent her days helping her mama hoe and plant in the fields, tend the chickens, watch the younger children, and grind the cassava flour that they would take to market to sell. Once in a while, when she was tending baby Piscavia, Beatrice would stop by the schoolhouse. Often the students had carried their long wooden benches outside to work under the cool shade of the jackfruit trees. Then Beatrice would stand quietly off to one side, pretending she was a student too. Oh, how she longed to be a schoolgirl. How she yearned to sit on one of the benches and figure sums on a small slate chalkboard. How she wished to turn the pages of a worn copybook and study each word over and over until it stuck in her mind like a burr. "I'll never be able to go to school," she would sigh. "How could I ever save enough money to pay for books or a uniform?" One day, while Beatrice was busy pulling weeds, Mama came to her with dancing eyes. "Beatrice, some kind-hearted people from far away have given us a lucky gift. We are one of the 12 village families to receive a goat." Beatrice was puzzled. A goat? What kind of a gift was a goat? It couldn't get up each morning and start their charcoal fire for cooking. It couldn't hike down to the stream each week and scrub their dirty clothes clean. It couldn't keep an eye on Grace, Moses, Harriet, Joash, and Piscavia. Her long fingers tugged patiently at the weeds. "That's very nice, Mama," she said politely. Then Mama added, "It will be your job to take care of our goat. If you do, it can bring wonderful things." Beatrice looked up at her mother. "Will this goat come soon?" she asked. "Because I would like to meet such a goat." Mama laughed. "Good things take time. First, I must plant pastures and build our goat a shed." Beatrice nodded slowly. Surely Mama knew what she was doing. "I will help you," she declared. For the next few months, Beatrice worked harder than ever. She helped Mama collect the posts for the shed walls, then lashed the posts together with banana fibers. She planted narrow bands of stiff elephant grass along the edges of their cassava field. She put in pigeon trees and lab vines between the banana trees. Finally, one day, Beatrice's goat arrived, fat and sleek as a ripe mango. Beatrice stood shyly with her brothers and sisters, then stepped forward and circled the goat once. She knelt close, inspecting its round belly, and ran her hand along its smooth back. "Mama says you are our lucky gift," she whispered. "So that is what I will name you, Mugisa. Look." 2 weeks later, Mugisa gave birth. It was Beatrice who discovered first one kid, and then, to her surprise, another. Twins! she exclaimed, stooping down to examine them. "See that, my Mugisa? You have already brought us 2 wonderful things." Beatrice named the first kid Mulindwa, which means expected, and the second Kiembo, or surprise. Each day, Beatrice made sure Mugisa got extra elephant grass and water to help her produce lots of milk, even though it meant another long trip down to the stream and back. When the kids no longer needed it, Beatrice took her own first taste of Mugisa's milk. Sweet," she said, mixing the rest into her cup of breakfast porridge. Beatrice knew Mugisa's milk would keep them all much healthier. Now, each morning after breakfast, Beatrice would head off to the shed to sell whatever milk was left over. "Open for business," she would say, in case anyone was listening. Often she would spy her friend Bunane coming through the banana groves. "Good morning, Beatrice, Mugisa, expected, and surprise," Bunane would always say. Then he would hand Beatrice a tall pail that she would fill to the top with Mugisa's milk. When Beatrice finished pouring, Bunane would hand her a shiny coin, and Beatrice would carefully tuck the money into the small woven purse at her side. Day after day, week after week, Beatrice watched the purse get fuller. Soon, there would be enough money for a new shirt for Moses and a warm blanket for the bed she shared with Grace. One day, Beatrice returned from collecting water and noticed Mama frowning and counting the money in her woven purse. Beatrice put down the water can and rushed to her mother's side. "Mama, what is it?" she asked. "What's wrong?" As she looked up, Mama's frown turned to a smile. "I think," she said, "you may just have saved enough to pay for school." "School?" Beatrice gasped in disbelief. "But what about all the other things we need?" "First things first," Mama said. Beatrice threw her arms around her mother's neck. "Oh, Mama, thank you." Then she ran to where her goat stood, chewing her cud, and hugged her tight. "Oh, Mugisa," she whispered, "today I am the lucky one. You have given me the gift I wanted most." The very next week, Beatrice started school. On the first morning that she was to attend, she sat proudly waiting for milk customers in her new yellow blouse and blue jumper, Mugisa by her side. Beatrice felt nervous and excited at the same time. Mugisa pressed close, letting her coarse coat brush softly against Beatrice's cheek. "Oh, Mugisa," Beatrice cried, "I'll miss you today." Then she thought again about all the good things Mugisa was bringing. Mama said that soon Surprise would be sold for a lot of money. "It will be enough to tear down this old house," she had explained. "We will be able to put up a new one with a steel roof that won't leak during the rains." Beatrice heard a rustle and noticed Bunane heading towards her with his empty pail. He eyed her new uniform and sighed. "You're so lucky. I wish I could go to school." Beatrice reached out and touched Bunane's arm. "I've heard that your family is next in line to receive a goat." A smile crossed Bunane's face. "Really?" "Really." Then Beatrice kissed Mugisa on the soft part of her nose, close to where her chin hairs curled just so, and started off to school. So this story is a great lesson into being grateful for the things that you have. This little girl didn't have a lot. She worked really, really hard. She learned how to be a responsible member of her family, and then she was rewarded with the ability to go to school. You, on the other hand, and a lot of other children in the United States have the ability to go to school and learn without having to worry about how are you going to pay for it. So we have to take our education very seriously. We want to learn as much as we can. We want to be very intelligent. We need to know how to do math problems and be able to read for ourselves. So next time you think about, your parents waking you up in the morning and you're saying, "Oh, I don't want to go to school today. Why do I have to get up?" Just think about Beatrice. Here's a little girl who wanted to go to school, but she just didn't have the means to do it. And we take that for granted, and we really shouldn't. So I hope you enjoyed this story, and you'll tune in next time for another edition of Kulture Kids Storytime. Have a good one, guys.